Well, here I am with Mr. Eduardo Santana. He's an engineer. He graduated from Tecnológico de Monterrey, and first of all, I want to thank you for taking some time for attending my interview. And I would like you I would like to know where have you worked or what projects have you done.
Okay, first of all, Luis, thanks for taking me into consideration for this interview. As you know, I am a graduate from mechatronics engineering, and I also have a master's degree in industrial design. I've been working for electronic industry, mainly in IBM, but I also work for HP when I was in the university. Basically, what I do is I'm a test engineer. I am the responsible for qualifying parts for new machines and taking all the effort to provide a quality product to the customer.
Okay. Well, mainly I chose Eduardo because I want to study an engineer, and I think what he studied is maybe the thing I want to do in my life, and that's the reason why. Well, can you tell me how is the jobs of an engineer? How are the what can I expect if I study an engineer?
Well, if you decide for an engineering, it's gonna be tough. It's a really demanding and hard study because you need to put a lot of effort. And but the good thing is that once you get out there to the industry, you will notice that engineers are very appreciated by the companies because they have many attributes and many abilities that they are looking for. For instance, I know that you can speak English, you have at least two languages, and most of the companies will look for people with a with some characteristics like you, and people that can be very eloquent, that can solve problems, and that can also work under pressure. And being an engineer is all what you do on the university. You work under pressure because of the homeworks, because of the teachers, because of the teamworks, etc. You need to speak two languages, and that's pretty much very similar to what you do at uni. But in this case, you are doing something for real, and you're also working for money. So that's something that the companies expect. Some guys, some people with very active and proactive.
Okay. For example, what do I need? What abilities, competitivities do I need for in order that I can be a successful engineer?
Well, first of all, as I mentioned before, you need to speak at least two languages.
Hmm.
You need to have good foundations of maths, physics, all these subjects that imply numbers and good logical thinking and mathematical thinking. That's obviously required by an engineer, of course.
Okay. What do you think of the future of an engineer, of studying an engineer?
But do you think of what, sorry?
Of the future of an engineer?
Okay, as an engineer, I can say that the future is coming like really, really fast. You just cannot imagine how fast our time is going if you compare with a few years ago. So being an engineer gives you the opportunity to learn faster and to be always involved in technological stuff so that you won't be obsolete in a few years. That's a big advantage of being an engineer.
Okay. what kind of mega trends, for example, technology, do you think technology is very important for an engineer or for studying an engineering?
What kind of what? Sorry.
Of new technologies, for example, the new things that Apple has released or Samsung or all of
Oh, okay,
these.
okay.
What is the role of an engineer?
Obviously, everything is going forward to the mobility. So, if you want to be a successful engineer, you might need to focus on mobility, which is of everything related to smartphones, smartwatches, smart fit, everything that relates to that mobility. Also, security and social network, because as you know, everybody has Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So you need to be involved in the development of applications that can that has to be also with mobility and social networking, and that's gonna be the future because everybody is gonna be connected from now on.
Okay. Well, we have discussed many topics, many questions about an engineering, but I haven't asked you the mainly question. For example, what does an engineer do? Does?
Okay, this is a really tough one. Uh, if I have to ask this from the mechatronic perspective, for instance, I would say right now I'm doing some coding, like programming, using several languages like C++, Python, TCL. I also need to do like many other things that are not related, like really like being an engineer. But for instance, I need to do some research about new new tools that new tools or new materials, for instance, for the components. I need to do some research about what is the best performance of the new technology so that we can implement it as well. So as you can see, it's not just like um, focusing on just one thing, but you you need to focus on several stuff so that you can make a better approach to what you are trying to fulfill at the end, right? I don't know if I was clear with that or not.
Yeah, it's clear. Can you tell me what kind of subjects did you study? Did you study while you were studying in Tecnológico Monterrey at university?
Well, there were several topics like math, for instance. That was one of the main topics. I really like physics and chemistry as well. But it is also important to focus on those topics that are not 100% related to engineering, like economics, literature, like environmental issues also are very important. But basically, those are the three mains: physics, math, and chemistry. Because once you learn those three topics, you will apply in several other topics. Right?
Well, can you tell me as a student in Prepatec, what kind of competencies, what can I study, some extra work I can do so in when I study an engineer in I could be a good one. What tools do I have to get before
Well,
college?
as I said many times before, of course, English and a third language, right? That's the main one. Also, I would suggest I don't know if you know what a Toastmaster is.
Yeah.
So that's very important so that you can be fluent, speaking, either in Spanish or English or German or whatever. Take some oratory courses like Toastmaster. That's an excellent tool. If you want to be a systems engineer or software engineer, you must learn a little bit about programming, like C++, Java, Python, or any other language. If you want to be a mechanical engineer, you must know a lot about materials, new materials, future materials like nanotechnology, biotechnology, all that stuff. If you want to be an electronic engineer, you must investigate and study things related to the new releases of electronics and smartphones, smart health, etc. That's my suggestion.
Okay, well, I think that's all. I wanna thank you again for your time, man. I hope I can see you soon. So thank you very much.
Yeah, that was my pleasure, Luis. Enjoy it.
Well, after this interview, now I realize the abilities an engineer must have and the things they do really useful stuff that help us in our daily life. And now I realize that that's the thing I want to study. That's what I want to do with my life. I want to be an engineer. I I had the curiosity, but after this interview, my doubts were confirmed, and I think this interview was really useful because I know the opinion of an engineer and someone that, despite all the work, he loves his work, and I could feel that, and he transmitted that message, and I wanna I wanna do that with my